Hello, and welcome to this episode of The Arctic Dungeon Master. Once again, I'm by my campfire. Well, not campfire, but just a fire. And it's a little big this time. A little loud. I hear the poppings and snappings. It's also getting darker up here in Alaska, so that's cool. But yeah, anyhow, what I really want to talk about is not much. I know there have not been a lot of videos online recently, and I do apologize. I'm trying to figure out what to do since I'm not doing Dungeon in a Box anymore. I will be doing Shaboom minis. And by that I mean I'm going to be getting the October box because it should be cool. It's going to be Halloween themed. So I'm running a Halloween one shot, and I'm excited about that. And really, I've not played a lot of D&D, so it has really hurt me spiritually, emotionally, makes me want to cry. And to make up for that, I have started listening to Critical Role from season 1. And like I've always said, I'm not a huge Critical Role fan. I'm not a critter. I do appreciate what Matt Mercer has done. I got players that love Matt Mercer and love the way he does things. And I gotta say, them watching, they have evolved as players by watching Critical Role. Like, he now understands the whole role-playing aspect, and he's a little better at that. And I like that. Brings a lot more to the game. Who knows? Maybe Matt Mercer will rub off on me. We shall see as I start world building and such, and all that wonderful jazz. But instead of playing, I've been listening to other people play, and as it is entertaining, it's kind of like watching professional sports. I would rather be participating in the action than watching other people have fun. And I'm just doing the whole audio aspect, so yeah, there's that. And so I do appreciate Critical Role. It's filling up a spot as I'm waiting for more episodes of Dark Dice to come out. Oh man, Dark Dice has gotten really, really good. And if you like podcasts, story podcasts, D&D podcasts, Dark Dice is I think the whole way to go. It takes out all the dice rolls, which I think is it speeds things up, and I find it entertaining. Dark Dice helps create the atmosphere I want for Out of the Abyss. Very dark and dreary. So yeah, there's that. I've recently been banned from Facebook for reasons that were out of my control. I got hacked. And so yes, I lost my account on Facebook. And so I'm out of the loop on a lot of things, but I've also seen it as a blessing. Unfortunately, I don't have any D&D topics really. Oh, the sounds of fallen Alaska four-wheelers. I'm still on Reddit though, and something that came up, now that I think of it, let's just talk about it. I'm only 5 minutes in. And I still got Firelight. Someone was talking about X cards, and I don't know I didn't really. I just briefly read it, and it was just like, wow, this is weird. And so I don't know if this was an online game or not. And it really amazes me how many people are playing on virtual tabletops these days instead of playing in person. Man, you're totally missing out, but I understand why. You can just play with so many more people. You can play so much more D&D virtually. But I prefer the table. I always will prefer the table. I'm sorry. Anyhow, going back to these X cards, like I said, I don't know if this is in person or if this was online, but apparently one of these players, not the person who posted, but another player in the group, every time there was something that made them feel triggered, they hold up an X card and the DM had to like skip that portion of the game. And that really baffles me for a couple different reasons. I find it baffling for different reasons. One, mainly because they were talking about health potions and how the player was apparently grew up and still is poor and not wealthy, and was triggered by the not being able to afford a health potion because it was like not being able to afford health care and being poor. And so they gave the health potion away for free. And I get the whole point of, you want to separate reality and fantasy, and you want to forget about reality for a moment and suspend belief. But apparently this player was doing this for everything. And D&D is one of those weird instances where you have money. My players, I'll take that back. In one campaign, they have gold. They're saving their gold because they need to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars on weapons. But they have gold. And out of the abyss, there's no gold. The treasure sucks, if there's ever treasure. It's just like better magical weapons, that's it. Other than that, there's nothing really. And so, man, it's a toss-up on things like that. Maybe instead of giving the player a free health potion, maybe the player finds it in a dungeon or something like that. I think the DM should have worked that into the gameplay. That the player finds a health potion in a weapons cache before they enter a dungeon or something like that, so that it is also a little bit more rewarding, because if you just give that player a free health potion because they feel triggered, man, you might start something on your table, and if it's in as a DM, like, you might need to know these things before you play, so that you know what you don't want your game to trigger your players. For instance, in Out of the Abyss, in the beginning, everyone's imprisoned, and the drow do not treat female iplets, non-drows, I may say, very nicely. If you get what I'm trying to allude to without spelling it out. And for that reason alone, those were parts that I didn't dwell on, just to prevent my female players from being triggered, as I was fortunate to know past. Oof, that fire is getting somewhere. So that helped a lot. Knowing, I mean, everyone sitting at my table I know pretty well. I might have a new guy coming to my table for the Halloween one-shot who I've just recently met, but I don't feel like there's going to be anything to trigger him in the game. So, you know, that preparing for Out of the Abyss was the first time I'd come across something like that, and I was able to handle it very well because I was prepared. Another instance, I had a player get and the only time I ever had a player get triggered, which doesn't make any sense to me, but I'm going to go ahead and tell this story anyhow. It was in the Odyssey of the Dragonlords campaign with the Troglodytes, and they're filthy, disgusting creatures. If you know anything about Trogs, they like to decorate themselves like they're in prison, and if you don't get that reference, male prisoners do not have access to razor blades, because they'll make them into shanks, weapons, to use against the guards, and especially the crazy ones, they get their hair shaved, and if they want to look fancy, they use excrement. So Trogs are like that. They decorate themselves in poo. Themselves, the caves, the walls, they make art. And that triggered one of my players who I knew very well. I know her the best because she's my wife, and she stopped playing the game that day. She was like, I can't do this, I'm done. And I've watched her change I don't know how many disgusting diapers. So I thought she was gonna be okay. She's helped me got hundreds of fish, birds. She helped me cut up moose. I mean, she's amazing in that aspect. But for that, she was just like, I'm done. Nope, no play for me. So she just went upstairs, and I was baffled, shocked, and I let her leave so that we could continue playing. And yeah, that was that. So I understand being caught with your pants down as a DM. But I also know we got to get around better about working these games so that they don't trigger players. As for that X card, it is a great, I guess, if you don't know your Dungeon Master, if you as a Dungeon Master don't know your player, these are great. As for the players who don't know their Dungeon Masters, it's also great. But it's like any other tool, you can't overuse it and hinder the game. I am sure that it's getting very, very hard to see me now. And I'm going to depart with saying that I hope I get more videos up and going. It's also a little hard for me to do videos right now because I have no internet. So there's also that. Please like this video. Leave a comment though. Let me talk to you in the comments, guys. Let's feed that algorithm, and I love talking to you guys on the comments. And I have no Facebook, so that's my means of communication, guys. Keep me entertained, please. Comment. And I'll be posting more videos and stuff. There's only going to be a few more of these fireside chats. Just because it's gonna be cold soon. Gonna be very cold soon. Yeah. Comment below, like the video, subscribe if you're not a subscriber already. Once again, this is the Arctic Dungeon Master. And, well, you know, I got a thing at the end of the video anyhow. Alright, later, guys. Thank you for watching this video from the Arctic Dungeon Master. If you enjoyed it, please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget to hit the little bell icon so you can get notifications. And if you really, really liked it, please think about supporting this channel by clicking on the Buy Me a Coffee link in the description below. Every little bit helps. Thanks, guys. See you next week.